Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In this edition, episode of Bitcoin Trade, this is something I want to talk about that I've been hearing from one of the viewers about the whole ban January 31st of the Chinese New Year, I guess. Um, you know, everyone's kind of concerned, but we've all kind of if you're following Bitcoin, you've all known this for a while, and it seems like there's some glimmer of hope. Okay, some glimmer of hope for the Chinese people, and the hope is maybe they'll be granted license. All right, that's a hope. The grant for a license, and then it kind of talks about you know a lot of people are worried if it doesn't, if it's truly a ban, um, what's going to happen? Is there going to be another fall in price? I find it hard to believe that it would be a fall in price after the Chinese government said we'll be banning Bitcoin. They've said we'll be banning Bitcoin. All right, they publicly already said it, and it's kind of foolish of them now to go back. It shows weakness in the government. And I don't know if they ever go back on what they've said and shows weakness in the government. Um, that'd be big trouble in Little China. Have you ever seen that movie, Big Trouble in Little China? Anyways, it was a movie. Kurt Russell was in it. So, anyways, it'd be a big trouble in China because now that they know that Bitcoin can sway a government to doing a 180, I mean, that's it. The genie's out of the bottle. There goes, pretty much that's the end of the Chinese government as we know it. So I don't think they're going to back down. When they say they're going to do a ban, they're pretty much going to ban it. Although I haven't heard any reports yet that they would stop people from trading in Bitcoins. All right, basically peer to peer. There is a way, I guess, to go around this whole thing. I'm not sure of the details, but if the exchanges still continue, people can buy bitcoins from other people. How exactly are they getting their bitcoins? I don't know. But if you know anything about Bitcoin and how it works, then um, as far as how it works going over the network and all that stuff. Well, then it's going to be hard for someone to not be able to get bitcoins. All right. There could be other ways. I mean, anyways, if it doesn't really matter, that may even pump up the price of Bitcoin in Asia because it's going to be very hard to get, even harder to get than it is now. Um, it's going to raise the price if you ask me, because even if I really doubt that people are just going to let their wealth go like that. They will find a way. So that's my opinion. Okay, but if it does have a panic, if there's a panic sell-off, I welcome that. Um, the miners won't welcome it because they're mining for money. All right, they're not mining for bitcoins because they're getting bitcoins now. So miners wouldn't like it. The exchanges may not like it; they'll get lower volume. But people who understand what Bitcoin is and how it works, when I say it this time, I'm talking about people who understand that Bitcoin is an instrument of credit, and they understand how that instrument of credit can work for them, how it's to their advantage. That's when I say when I say when people who know what Bitcoin really is, what it really is, all right, and what and how it really works. Okay, so I'll be buying it if it starts crashing. I'm gonna be buying. I will take all the electronic U.S. dollar funds that's in my exchange. I am gonna empty it into Bitcoin as soon as that price drops like crazy. because they're a fool if they're gonna, get rid of their bitcoins, in my opinion. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my supplier, the mining, the anonymous investors of mining rigs. Have you heard of that yet? Anonymous investors of mining rigs. They're anonymous. They put money into mining rigs, and they like to put their Bitcoin out to market. And what's beautiful is, I have some information of what about, well, for large, uh, a very big mining rig setup, the the break even cost, what it cost for them to break even, and I'm telling you, they're they're making out like, at these prices they're making out like bandits. Okay, especially the ones that have been mining for a very, very, very long time. All right, so maybe they'll be in a panic as well, or maybe not. In either case, if the price drops, oh man, I'd be buying so many bitcoins. You got to really understand what Bitcoin is and how it works. If you haven't understood, or you're not able to understand, I recommend everyone watch my videos all the way from 1 to now. I know you'll see a lot of boring charts, but I put in a lot of information within each video, a lot of clues, hidden messages, all right? And, some of the things I say to you, as you keep watching the videos, you'll slowly and gradually you'll understand what Bitcoin is and how it works. So let's take a look at some of this, all right? Since I'm here, and it's a very long blah blah blah. The Bitcoin crash. Here's the weird thing. And since China, I'll go to a graph, and you tell me what. I mean, somebody tell me. Okay, here, let me put it in a way so you can see a little better. There we go. Okay. So let me back out to a 12 hour. All right. Oh my goodness, time is going by so much. Let's do a daily. All right. Let's see if we can. Okay. So you guys tell me, does China make a difference? I say no. China doesn't make a damn bit of difference. As a matter of fact, if China is going to miss out on this, they're fools. But they have to be fools, because if they let this happen, they're going to lose control. Remember I told you, fiat currency? I told you that fiat currency is an instrument of debt. So if the Chinese government's using fiat currency as an instrument of debt to keep their people working, all right? And they want them to keep working until they die, all right? Now, I know some people in America, it sounds like something that's happening in America. You're just working until you die. You'll never retire. You'll never, even if you were on Social Security, you'll never comfortably retire. You'll always be working. I know people who are retired, and what are they doing? Well, ironically, they're working, and they can only work so many hours, because if they work too many hours, they'll lose their Social Security benefits. But the fact that they are forced to work, or they have to do yard work to make, ends meet, cut people's grass for cash. I mean, this is real. This is what I see. This is what's happening right now in America. So could you imagine what it's like in China, where people are literally just, working all the time? All right, working day and night. I mean, I hear reports of India where you got these sweatshops. Okay, I know I'm bouncing around, but never mind. Now, this is supposedly right about here is the ban that China implemented, and it did cause the crash, as you see right here. Well, I've mentioned this in my other video, but look what happened. Now, all this time we know China was gonna, ban Bitcoin. Look what happens. Look at the response to that. And that's not. This is Mt. Gox, but let's go ahead and let's change it up. Let's do Bitstamp. Now, if you look at the three indices, Okay. So here's the thing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is independent of all these exchanges. They are independent of anybody. It's independent of any government. Nobody controls Bitcoin. But look at the response. Ban, China's ban, okay? Reaction. Well, here it is. Who cares about you, China? See you later. Now it's not high like this, but you know what? Uh, Look at it. It's recovered. And during this time, I was reading reports. This is the end of Bitcoin. This is the end of alternative currency. This is the end of cryptocurrency. Now we're talking. Now we're having hearings in New York about how to regulate. If you've seen my previous episodes, well, by the time you see this episode, you should see the episode where Washington State has declared Bitcoin, specifically said Bitcoin is money. And so, I hope you saw that video. I hope you understand what a difference between an open loop and a closed loop stored value device is. Okay, basically, if you missed it, go back. But I'll recap on it. It's everything that I've been doing right now, as far as what I've been doing with Bitcoin and in the real world with real money, exchanging Bitcoin for money, exchanging debt for credit. So, and it's amazing. You reading how Washington State defines money has really opened my eyes. What stored value? What is stored value? And how does a stored value? What is a stored value device on top of that? It's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. It just opened my eyes. And closed loop, open loop. Wow. Now I feel very, very empowered because now I know what the definition of money is. All right, the definition of money. So I hope you all have a chance to go take a look. Go look at the video. Anyways, so here's the response. And it's right here. And it's not like it's dead or it's dropping or anything. If it does drop, because I've been mentioning that it is on a down, it does seem to be on a down trending. If anything, if you're long Bitcoin like I am, you want it to drop because it's cheaper to buy Bitcoins. It really is. I was buying all this time on the way down. Not because I'm a fool, because if you know what Bitcoin is and you know how it works, you know that as long as governments keep printing money, well, I wouldn't say governments keep printing money, a centralized authority keeps printing money, the value of Bitcoin will just keep going to infinity. All right. I've tried to explain it, and hopefully some of you understand what I'm talking about, and you can understand why I think Bitcoin will go to infinity. I probably won't live that long to see Bitcoin go to infinity. I'll be dead, and probably you will. But I'm pretty sure that it will go up higher than this by the time I die. All right, or even if you died. All right, infinity is a long time. I'm not going to live that long. So just look at this. What does it say? It says, well, who cares about China? We're going to leave them behind. People will find a way in China to get into Bitcoin. Matter of fact, I read another article where the wealthiest Chinese don't live in China. They're trying to come over here to America or Europe. They're trying to go everywhere except China. So what is that going to do for China? It's probably going to leave a void, and I don't know what they're going to do. That I think they're going to have to do a couple things here. If they're going to put the ban, they will ban it. Okay, there's no doubt in that. If they do a 180, it shows weakness. Either way, they're screwed, in my opinion. I think they prematurely spoke too soon when it came to Bitcoin. So, as far as some other countries that are banning Bitcoin, which is Greenland and Thailand, they have their reasons because there's certain laws in place that prevent them from accepting Bitcoin. So, but oh well. Either way, it works for me because if you understand how I'm trading, you, if you if you're going to get into Bitcoin, you have to be long in Bitcoin. So, anyways, let's go back to that article real quick and let's see what's happening here. Let's see what I can get out of it. All right, so let's see here. All right, and I guess this particular section here talks about how maybe a panic sell is going to happen. I really doubt there's going to be a panic sell because the panic sell already did happen. All right, so we already had our panic sell. If we have another panic sell, it's probably minuscule at best. And it'll be a great time for all the other people to buy Bitcoins because it's cheaper. And then here you go. It says, don't panic. Don't panic. Okay. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on the whole Chinese New Year Bitcoin ban and end of days or empty threat. I don't think it's either or. I don't think you even have to worry about China because the price action has already dictated that right here. The price action has already dictated. Here, I even do Bitsy. All right, well, let's see what Bitsy says about China. Okay, so yeah, here you go. There's the announcement of the ban coming down and response. Okay, even Bitsy is saying the same thing, which is we really don't, China missed out. Sorry, we'll just continue without you. All right, so let's. I mean, here. This is a Chinese exchange. Let's see what the Chinese exchange said about this whole thing. Now, Chinese exchange is a little different, isn't it? Because this is only dealing with whatchamacallit, Chinese, the Chinese, whatever, Chinese money. So that's the height. Now this exchange is saying something a little different, all right? But it's still kicking. So like I said, even each exchange is independent of each other. What does it mean for me? Well, I trade over at Mt. Gox, so it doesn't really mean much to me. Look at that. It's recovered really well, and it actually still looks like it still has some life left on the if you look at the 1 day, because this is the I think 25 average, just simple average, and it's being supported by that average. So if you look on a long term, nobody cares about China. I mean, China's good for one thing, and that's making cheap stuff. So if they started making expensive stuff, or the cost of labor started going up in China, then man, no one would buy Chinese anymore, would they? So anyways, there's your go. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go on that. So let's go on to a chart analysis, because I know that's another reason why you watch my videos. You probably want to see analysis on the chart, or just get more information, feedback. Okay, I trade at Mt. Gox, so I'm going to do an analysis on a Mt. Gox chart. All right, and if you've seen my previous episodes, I've always mentioned how Mt. Gox is for like the professionals. All right, if you feel like you're a professional grade trader, you know how to read charts, you understand charts, you're very technical on the analysis of charts, this is Mt. Gox is for you. All right, this is a trader's dream. All right, so this is a 1 hour. Okay, and here's some of the things that I do. Okay, now you know about the lines, and you know about different trading styles and everything, but look at some of the things that I do. Real simple, okay, real easy, and you know, you don't have to like the risk involved is, I would say, not very risky if you know what you're doing. So here's the I made this like I think at this point and this point, and it came down. This line came down, and by the time I did this, it was right about here. And so I drew the line here, and once you know it, it just follows that line pretty darn good. And the thing about when things go on a downtrend is that all the sellers are exhausted. So anybody who's selling, you know, you don't have any more Bitcoins to sell. You've run out of Bitcoins to sell. So what do you have? You have your US dollars or whatever money you have in your account. Well, this is a paired US dollar Bitcoin, so I hope you have US dollars. So all you have left is your US dollars. Now what? You know, since I told you they're burning the money at Mt. Gox, all right? If you haven't seen that episode, just keep going back. If you just seen this for the first time, I recommend you start back all the way to Bitcoin 01, Bitcoin Trade 01, and work your way up. That way you understand what I'm saying. I don't remember what episode I mentioned my theory on why you can't get money out of Mt. Gox, but basically I'm telling you they're burning it, all right? They're burning your money and forcing you to live a life of credit in Bitcoin. So here I got a line, I drew it. I did not trade, okay, because I was sleeping during this time. But it doesn't matter. I drew that line to show you that this is how simple Mt. Gox is. Draw a line here, draw a line here. If you stayed up enough, you would see that it's breaking out of this downtrend channel, and as soon as it did that, guess what? It spiked up. Now it's following. Now it's following this upward support, and you can tell if you look at it a little bit closer, it's slowly moving along this line, moving upwards. So there's still some hope for this still to be an uptrend, because guess what? That's the top of the resistant line, and I'll back up and I'll show you because it's really getting close. I mean, it's squeezing itself, and you know, it's going to bounce around, but it's squeezing itself slowly upwards, mainly these two lines here. But now that it's moved up, it's these lines here. So let's back up here. This is on a 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, and then let's do a 6 hour. Okay, 6 hour, but just to give you an idea, if you really want to see everything here. Okay, so this top line is the resistance line. So it's this top and this top making that line. We knew it broke up, or it was breaking. What do you call it? Well, anyways, it broke through, but couldn't really stay, so it came back down. But it's trying to still maintain that momentum, because you see that uptrending line here, that support line, and all these lines. I'm as new things are happening, I'm making a little bit more lines, and you can kind of see, you know, it gives you many. It just helps me in where the support is the strongest. So, as you see right here. Now this is the line I made to follow this downtrending line, and it broke out. So it broke out of the downtrending line. So now all the people who sold and their Bitcoins, you know, they have no Bitcoins to sell anymore at some point. Now they're going, well, I don't have any Bitcoins. It broke out. Hopefully they see this. It's breaking out. It's very close to this top resistant line here. So it's already broken out once, retreated. It may test this again. and it may have a nicer pop to it because you know, the downtrending line's lower. It's really close to this supporting line, so it's being squeezed into this triangle, and it's either going to pop up or it's going to have to pop down. But the way it's been looking, you know, it's, if you look at the stops. Now I'm only talking about Mt. Gox. I don't really give a shit what happens to at Bitstamp or BitC. If they go down, well, that's, like I said, Bitcoin is independent of any exchange. It's local, it's regional, it's, you know, I'm in America, it's statewide, it's national, it's international. Okay? And every market will have its own price. Is that, does that sound weird that every market will have its own price? No, it doesn't. That's very common. Why should one stock be the same price everywhere around the world? But in reality, if you took that stock out into the real open market in the real world, you will get a million different prices. You will get a million different offers. Okay? I mean, we can. These are just nothing but just references of what a price of Bitcoin could be. I mean, I've sold Bitcoins for more than Mt. Gox price. So, and I bought Bitstamp. I mean, I bought Bitcoins below BitC price. So, you know, the price is whatever it is that somebody else is willing to pay for in reality. Okay. So, if you understand that, this shouldn't be a problem. So, anyways. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. So let's move in a little bit closer. I don't know why people think in terms of a current situation or a current. Okay, Bitcoin is so new and so radical. And if you've seen my episodes, you understand why. I mean, the things that I'm doing with Bitcoins, I can never do with a stock. I can never do with a bond. I can never do with a currency. That's just reality. And if you've seen my episodes, you'll see what I'm doing, and you'll be like, "Wow, I never thought of Bitcoin in that way." You know, so whatever you want Bitcoin to be, how, it's up to you. Your imagination is the limit of what it can be. It's unfortunate that most people, or seems like the attention's drawn on the negative aspects of Bitcoin with Silk Road. But you know what? Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar. All right, let's take a look at U.S. dollar. Fast and Furious, selling guns to Mexican cartels. Also allowing cartels to sell drugs in America for U.S. dollars, as long as a particular cartel can snitch on another cartel. And now what? Amnesty to the leaders of drug cartels for helping the U.S. government, you know, bust other cartels, but at the same time allowing one particular cartel access to the U.S. market. I mean, you want to talk about some dirty, illegal, you know, criminal activity, you don't have to go far. If it exists in U.S. dollars, it will exist in Bitcoin. All right. So, anyways, sorry about that rant. Let's go back to the charts here. All right, let me see here. That's too close. That's a little bit closer. Okay. So this is how simple that you can make a very quick profit by doing this. Just look at the line that I made. I just picked the two highest points, and then at the time I did that, the price action was moving around here, and then eventually the thing trades 24 hours, 7 days a week. I can't stay up 24 hours, 7 days a week. But I just drew it because I already knew that if it would cross over anywhere in this area, it would break out. And you know, if I was awake, I would have traded, but it doesn't matter because I've already got a position in, because I was telling you how I, again, in my previous episodes, I took a position right at 9:45 because I bought something at around this price. I bought a gift card for groceries. So I bought something, and I had a feeling that it probably would bounce back down because I knew that it was bouncing around these. At the time when I drew that one line, it was bouncing around at this support line. So that's why I made it at 9:45, because I wasn't sure if it was going to break through down or if it was going to fall short above here and then bounce back up. But I already have a position in here, so I'm not worried. And this position was to cover this position when I expended my Bitcoin. So that's kind of what it is. So now when I'm looking at it and the price is going back up, if the price goes back up, this trade right here, I expended my Bitcoins to buy, groceries. I have electronic US dollars in my exchange account. I bought in, let me see what I bought in. What I did was, for example, I spent $200 here at this price. I've bought in again, okay, in Bitcoin, $200 price, right? Now the value of the Bitcoin went down. Now I take my US dollar, $200, I just replace my Bitcoins and then some, because I still bought $200 worth of Bitcoin. Nothing's changed. I sold $200 worth of Bitcoin. I bought in $200 worth of Bitcoin. The difference is I had to pay out less Bitcoins and I bought more Bitcoins for the same price. So if you saw my previous episodes, you understand what I'm telling you here is about the purchasing power. You're able to trade your purchasing power, Bitcoin to US dollar. So I already have a position here. I don't really have to buy. If it goes up, that difference in Bitcoin that I gained, well, that will go up with the value as well. So if it goes down, it doesn't matter because I already have a certain amount of Bitcoins that I'm already committed to. So I'm long Bitcoins no matter what. Anyways, there's a simple chart analysis here, what you can do to make some simple, buy and sell signals as well. But let's take a look at the whole thing again, and you all probably want to know where the hell this price is going, because I'd like to know too. All right. So let me see here. It's being supported by 2, 1, 2, possibly 3. This bottom one as well. It's being supported by 3 supporting lines here, and this is the top resistance. If it can break through this top resistance, I believe the next price will go up to, if it breaks this resistance, okay, it's going to go up to, let me see, maybe 1070. It'll hit 1070, which is pretty darn close. As time goes on, it may even go up higher, but it does have to be higher than this price to continue that uptrend. All right, but it looks like it's trying to break through, and it might. The other problem is it's not a very, it's going to have to finish very strong, and it's going to be very hard to break through. If it doesn't break through and it falls with these three support lines, you're looking at, well, let me see here. Let me back out here a little bit. Okay, you're looking at what is that? Is that 850, 860, maybe 860, I'm sorry, not 860, 840, somewhere around there. Let me see. Let me get a idea of the price right there. Okay, 830. So that may reach 830. That might be a good buying position. So there's my take on it. Again, if you see my previous videos, the other options are Other options are at this price here, because this is often it, you know, when it drops, it often will have enough buyers at a certain price level which they see as the last low. This is a little too low. It's a little too close to where it already stopped, so I wouldn't count this. So this would be the next support line if it hits, and then may bounce back up again, and eventually it's gonna, if it does break this line, it's gonna go up, and then if it does bounce back up, it'll just bounce back up only to fall down. So anyways, like I said, overall so far it's been ranging back and forth, but it's again, look at the triangle here. It's being squeezed, so it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down. So good luck to your trade, everyone. Hope this was helpful, and feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment or a question. I'll do a video response to your question, or you guys can do an actual video response. If you feel that I'm wrong about something, let me know. And other than you're wrong, you know, just give me something, give me a good argument, all right? And you know, I'll see what I can, you know, argue back with. If it's a very good argument, I might just agree with you altogether. So, anyways, until next time, stay tuned. Bye.